Hello again. This message is a little more in depth. This one, there isn't even that much I could even say about it. It's so straightforward with the messages here of basically just reuniting, committing to each other, and moving forward in beautiful and amazing ways. But let's jump over here now. I think Spirit's providing a little more in depth information of what's going on. The divine masculines are still wearing a mask right now because they are still working through some obstacles and some blockages. These could be internal, these could be external, they could be a combination of both. Sometimes they're more internal, but they're using external blockages as the excuse because they're not ready internally yet. And I honestly think that a lot of masculines don't even realize that. They think that they're ready, but they don't understand, or they think they're almost ready, but they don't really fully understand what it is that they need to work on. That's why the divine feminine's role is so significant in taking the lead with the healing work, in getting the spiritual healing work and fixing spiritual warfare when it applies, and just taking the lead in the connection, because the divine masculines are not, they're not self-aware. Usually they're not as spiritually awake. It's different types of awake, basically. Like, they tend to not be wounded masculines tend to not be self-aware in order to even like see and understand their wounds that need healing and what they need to work through. There is, or there are some that are aware of these things, but they're the small percentage. Okay, it's a small percentage of masculines who are awake to those things and able to actively work on them. So that's why the divine feminine is guided to step up and to take care of spiritual healing work to help with the process for the masculines as well. Because if your thought process is, I'm just going to wait for my masculine to figure it out on his own, honestly, you're probably going to be waiting for a long time, because the wounded masculine who is not self-aware is simply just not capable of having that recognition and doing the inner work on themselves. Like, think of people who are opposed to therapy and stuff like that because they don't get it, they don't understand. And the majority of divine masculines are like that, and they can't help it. They just are. So, divine feminine, don't get caught up in your own ego center and pride and refuse to do anything to help the masculine along in their journey. Because if you do, for one thing, you're in the wrong attitude and mindset as far as your mental and spiritual thought processes go, and which is a sign that you yourself are not ready, just FYI. But also, you're going to be waiting a long time, because for the masculine to figure it out completely on his own is going to take some time. This is why the divine feminine is meant to be the leader, is meant to be the one to fix spiritual warfare, and is guided to even do spiritual healing work to help the masculine with their healing process. That's why me and so many other healers offer twin flame healings. And when I do twin flame healings, I don't even need, like, the only permissions that I need is from their higher selves. Like, this is spirit guided and spirit instructed, and it's your divine masculine's higher self and the karmic's higher self. When I'm doing a karmic healing as well, it's their higher selves that are the ones giving the permission and bringing their 4D selves to participate in the healing. And that's all that you need, and that's because of the significance of the twin flame connection. So Spirit will guide the divine masculines through what they need to go through in order to, the experiences, in order to break through those internal blockages that are holding them back. And that will in turn help them conquer the external blockages, whether it's a karmic situation or it's just something like being busy and work getting in the way or life getting in the way. Like, all of those things are valid reasons that are holding them back at times. But then at the end of the day, if you think about it, they won't matter when they're fully ready. So Spirit will put them through the experiences needed to break through these blockages so that they reach that place where they're able to take the mask off and finally be able to speak their hearts, to open their hearts to you and tell you how they really feel and what they really want, and not hold back anymore. Just like this is telling you is coming. And for some of you, it's closer than others, because everybody's at a different stage of their journey. But Spirit will help them get there. And you can help the process as well by engaging in any spiritual healing work that you're guided to do. I just noticed how this card also has the sun on one cheek and the moon on another cheek, and then we have the moon next. That's what made me notice, that really is that tuning into your intuition and trusting in the outcome and the success and the victory. I love that we have the stars here representing that faith and hope, trusting your guided path from your spirit guides, the stars on top as well. And then I know that these stars in this deck also represent like your North Star and your guidance system, and trusting that Spirit is leading you appropriately. So I love that additional symbolism here. I felt guided to point it. I've never even noticed it before, but I felt guided to point it out this time. So as I was saying here, Divine Feminine, Spirit just wants you to trust your intuition. Don't let your ego center get in the way. Trust your intuition and your guidance. Know that your Divine Masculine Spirit team is working on him or her and helping them follow and listen to their own intuitions as well. It is a process, though, that takes time. I can tell you in my journey that there have been cycles of learning that have taken place, and each learning cycle has been a year at a time, and each one has been conquering a different internal block. And it's applied to both of us. I've seen it more so with him, but I can also see how it's applied to me too. I don't know that it works the exact same for every single person, but I'm just saying, like, working through those internal blocks and those processes do take time. So don't let the ego center get in the way and cause self-sabotaging or setbacks and all that stuff. Focus on connecting with your higher self and your intuition and letting your spirit guides lead, okay? Know that everything happens perfectly in divine timing. Your higher selves have everything under control at all times, along with your spirit team. And at the end of the day, relinquish control to them to allow everything to align and proceed how it needs to, allow them to lead you. And the only thing that you really need to do is just not let, like I said, your ego center get in the way. And take the steps that you are guided to take when you are guided to take them, and you can help this process along. But like I said, everything is divinely aligned and divinely timed. Spirit has everything under control. So you really just need to stop trying to control and let your higher selves handle all of that, okay? Know that the important and necessary endings that need to occur will. Like, here you go. Here's the coffin to tell you, death and rebirth is coming. Death to the karmic situations, death to the old versions of yourselves, death to the ego center. And I've said this so many times, you are birthing a new version of yourself. And you're going through that process, whether you like it or not. So is your divine masculine or your twin flame. They are also going through this process, whether they like it or not. And trust me, you will both get there, whether you are aware and an active participant or being dragged along. But you both will get there, and everything will happen exactly how it needs to, again, in divine timing. Both of these two mean the same thing. When your masculine reaches it doesn't have to be 100%, but when they reach a certain level of healing and reach a certain stage of this process internally, they will cross and come from wherever they are, cross whatever barriers. Look, they're flying over the obstacles. Actually, I just noticed that for the first time. This boat why is it a boat flying? But anyway, it's flying over the mountains, over the obstacles. When he's ready, when your divine masculine is ready, they will come. They will surpass whatever they need to. They will come flying. They will be ready to communicate and tell you and open up, and they'll be ready to build a life and a home with you, to come into union and commitment, and to have the full package. And that's what they want and truly desire. They're just in the process of overcoming those internal and external obstacles. So trust them. It's all going to come together.